Well, good Monday morning. Good Monday. We're here bright and early. Looks like the market already ready to start running. It didn't waste any time this Monday morning, going on about its thing. Excuse me, going on about its way, going on about its movement, uppity, uppity, up. Let's hope it's not just doing all this uppity up, trying to catch us on a bounce to snatch our coins. But I think we've had some information about the tariffs changing. I know it's been a week since y'all saw me. I've been on vacation. I was on spring break last week, so I wasn't live on the YouTube. Wasn't here. Y'all, as they say, get in here, get in here. Good morning, Val. Get in here, get in here. Let me tell the folks, give all the platforms a chance to let the folks know that I'm live. Tell everybody that we are live here so everybody knows that we are here. And they can come on in. See if Twitter tells the people. Well, Twitter says I'm live. Tell all the people. Twitter, go ahead and tell all the people. I hope y'all had a good weekend. Let's see if the week starts off with some real good stuff versus some foolishness, because you know the market will start off on that foolishness if you're not careful. So we want to make sure that it's not trying to start off with no crazies, starting off crazy first thing on Monday. That ain't what we're after. That is definitely not what we're after. All righty. I'm going to go ahead and get into it so we can cover all the bases we want to cover. Hey, Julie. Hey, Marcia. Good morning. Yes, absolutely. I was doing some reading this morning about the power of the tongue. Ooh, life and death is in the power of the tongue. And those who love it are going to eat its fruit, it said. Gotta always watch these words. Always, always. Okay, so let's see what we got going here. The VIX is at 1895. Last night when we were on our call, I think was at like 1980 or something like that. So 1895 means it's down a little bit. Down just a tad. But listen, I was looking at the where was I? I was looking here on CNBC. I guess this is CNBC. The futures, Dow futures jumped more than 350 points on reports that Trump will hold back on some of the tariffs. See, I don't like manipulation. I feel like sometimes people just do stuff to get you, to get us all upset, get you all upset, get you all worked up. I don't know. Anyway, Dow futures, at this point, we're about 45 minutes from the market opening. So we do have some time. I will swing back to these numbers closer to market open because I think we'll need to see them more in real time. Dow futures up 385 or 0.91%. S&P futures up 67. It's at 57.86. NASDAQ futures up 305. 1.5%. Oil is green. 10-year bonds are green. Europe is mostly red. DAX is green. See, I think these things right here are telling because the other markets also lead into ours, right? Europe markets edge higher. SOB rises 6% after UBS upgrades to buy. Anybody own a SOB? It used to be a big thing that people own SOBs, and I ain't really seen a whole lot of them more recently. Good morning, Tanya. Let's see what the Asia market looks like. It's more green. Nikkei is red. Asia Pacific markets are mixed as Trump reciprocal tariff deadline looms. See, I feel like some stuff just be said, just people just saying stuff. They don't necessarily mean it. They just saying it. And then you look up later and they go, no, I ain't really mean it. Take back. Anyway, Bitcoin is up 2.87% at 87,000. Ethereum is at 2,084, up 4%. Solana is at 143. Dogecoin is at 0.18 or 18 cent. And XRP is at 2.46. Right, let's go see what's on the tariffs latest. Trump reportedly set to tone down the April 2 barrage. Canada's prime minister said Trump wants to break us so America can own us, as he called a snap election. While the tide may turn in favor of U.S. stocks and Morgan Stanley, 23andMe files for bankruptcy. Isn't that the little people who make the bags or something? No. 23andMe is the DNA people. I think 23andMe is DNA. CEO leaves and the stock plunges. ME, it says it's up 1.7%. Tesla puts FSD trial in China on hold and wait for regulators. U.S. Treasuries fall on signs that Trump will dilute the April tariffs. Meta's $800 million takeover bid is rejected by Korean AI chip startup. Jack Ma backed Ant touts AI breakthroughs built on Chinese chips. The real estate world is fighting over secret home listings. Anything else over here happening? Anything of interest? Oh, Chinese EV giant BYD's fourth quarter profit leaped 73%. BYD it's a big manufacturer of EV. 73% move. That's a pretty big move for profits, especially in the EV space. All we ever look at really is the Tesla in the EV space, but there's more than just Teslas out there. We can see that, right? Xiaomi's a good phone. Seeks 5.3 billion in share sale to fund the EV expansion. Volkswagen and BMW group electric cars outsell Tesla in Europe in February. Investors are exiting U.S. equities and looking to Europe and other markets. Well, there's that. And then there's that. Okay, let's look to see what we have on our calendar today. Calendar this morning, we got flash manufacturing PMI at 9:45. This is right when the market opens. So where we are looking a little bit green, we're looking a lot bit green this morning on the pre-market. This PMI right here. Listen, data drop. A lot of time they'll pump it because they know something's coming up that's going to drop it. Pump and dump. You don't get excited. They'll wait till people run in, throw their cash in there on some calls, and snatch the plug. You know how you dancing at the club, you dancing at the house, and the power go off. It goes shoot. You look around like, what just happened? What just happened? Well, don't let that be you. Don't let that be you dancing at the club and the power go off, or dancing, you dancing, or doing, what is it when we do musical chairs? When the music go off, you better find you a chair. Better find you a place to sit. I saw somebody the other day. They were talking about how do you do YouTube? I did my friends in Guatemala. They're like, how do you do YouTube? And you just on there talking and hanging out and laughing and making jokes by yourself. I said, because listen, I've been on Zooms where it was a whole lot of people. I've been on Zooms with 300 and 400 and 500 people. I also been on Zoom when it was 3 folks. With me and 2 other people. I've been on Zoom when it was me and Jamie. When me and Jamie to be on Zoom together. And listen, I've been on these calls when it was just me. And I'm completely able to entertain myself. I'm able to entertain myself. Good morning, Sabrina. So when we switched over to YouTube, at first I was like, ain't nobody gonna be able to talk back. That's what I told Jamie at first. I'm gonna be on YouTube. Nobody's gonna be able to talk back. And he was like, you'll be all right. And guess what? I'm all right. Just, hey. Anyway, back to the topic. Flash manufacturing PMI happens at 9:45. Not saying that there will be a drop, but it could. So that's why we don't get excited. We trade what we see over here. Trade what you see. We do have a trade on. Those who are in my community, we do have a 1 DTE from Friday. And currently, it looks like the numbers, the stock price might be past our numbers, but we got all day. So we got all day to see that it comes right back down to where we want it to come. So we're going to give it some time and let it do what it do. Let us see. We ain't making no rash moves before we see some price action, okay? 9:45, we got Flash Manufacturing PMI. That's a red folder. It could definitely make a move on the market. That's why it's a red folder. 1:45, we've got FOMC member Bostic speaking. President Trump will speak sometime today. Another market mover. Maybe it'll move up. Maybe it'll move down. You never know. That's why we watch and trade what we see. Okay. 3:10, we got FOMC member Barr speaking. Tomorrow, we don't have any red folders unless the president decides he's going to speak, which will always be a red folder. We got FOMC member folks, so talk tomorrow. 8:40, an FOMC member will speak. HPI is going to be tomorrow at 9, which is before market opens. Wednesday, we got core durable goods happening. No red folders, but again, stuff happens. Thursday, we do have final GDP, gross domestic product, will happen. That's at 8:30 in the morning before market opens. Unemployment claims, both of those. And then on Friday, before market opens, we have core PCE happening as well. Hey, Dylan, how we doing? All righty, that's what's happening over there. As far as calendar for this morning, we looked over on Forex. Let's see what we see over here on investing.com. 8:30, we got Chicago Fed activity that already happened. 9:45, we got the PMI. We talked about that. 3-month and 6-month bill auctions happen at 11:30. 1:45, we talked about Bostic will speak from the FOMC. And at 3:10, we've got Barr will speak from the FOMC. All right, we talked about those already. All right, let's go look real quick at our Janae said, I hear he might hold back some tariffs. That's why it's green. Yeah, that's why it's green. That would be exactly, as my friend would say, that's right why. That's right why it's green. SPX 500 is what we use to be able to see SPX when the market is closed, because you can't see, you can't see SPX when the market is closed. Currently, it's at 57.37. That's where we are currently. If we were translating, SPX into now, that's where we're at right now. Okay, let's go ahead and look at what Adam has for numbers, which he might have put out something else since we got a little movement, but we'll check that out in a minute. Incredible follow through in SPX. On Friday, the 56.36 reclaim triggered us long as posted, and target was 56.97, 57.05, which was tested 4 times last week. We finally broke it, and now we're up 100 points from Friday's long. Plan today, let runners pay 57.45, 57.59. Next up, 57.20. 56.97, 57.05 are supports. The gap between SPX and ES is about 50 points. So if you're looking at the ES numbers and you want SPX, you need to subtract about 50 points. If you're trading XSP, we've got 576, 577 on the call credit spread side, 569, 570 on the put credit spread side. Definitely watch that call credit spread side. Let's see how the top actually starts looking, since we got a little bit more happening on the top side. You want to see what's going on there. Curtis says, since we're gapping up, I'm looking to enter the PCS for the PD T-Hack early. Good, no problem. I mean, trade what you see. I wouldn't jump in there too early, because there's a whole lot of stuff that happens between 9:30 and 10 o'clock, and which you definitely have that 10 o'clock turnaround, and you also have PMI happening at 9:45. So I want you to use wisdom on that, okay, Curtis? Yeah, so definitely you'll watch. Adam is a level-to-level trader. Basically, he trades levels, and he trades the ES. He doesn't trade SPX, which is why we take his numbers from Twitter and we translate them into SPX numbers. He trades the ES futures, which is S&P futures. We trade SPX. All right. Just want to use wisdom. That's what we want to do. We want to use wisdom. Last week, here we go. We talked about this last night. In case you didn't watch my show last night and you're here today for the first time. Last week, we had 88% win rate, 14 out of the 16 trades that we suggested came out profitable. 88% win rate we had last week. All right. Did really well. We traded AbbVie last week in our community. We traded, some people traded gold. I don't know if anybody traded Costco. I think Chevron got traded last week. We traded IWM. We traded Microsoft. We traded SPX. We had a couple people who traded Triple Q and SPY and UPS. So we had several of these in our community. Exxon, several of these got traded in our membership last week, and people were able to make profits. That's what we're after. That's why this list goes out, that if you don't do nothing else but pick something off this list, you're going to be in profit. Pick something and trade it, right? Trade it. You can join the membership. We hang out in there together. We trade these things together. We don't trade all of it together. Some people trade the list. We manage it together. They pick what they like. Everybody don't trade the same thing because we're different personalities, all right? This is the list for this week. I'm going to look at a couple of these. We looked at gold last night on our call. We looked at Procter & Gamble last night on our call, which that looks like a really good trade. Could be good, about 20% return on the P&G. Could be good. We're going to look at Exxon this morning, and we're going to look at Microsoft and Exxon this morning. I will look at those charts here in a moment. And of course, I'll look at Triple Q and SPY because I always do. Okay. So that's our list for this week. It's not very long, but you don't need it to be long to make that money. All right. You don't need a long list because that sometimes the long list is too many things to choose. And if you got too many choices, sometimes you too many choices. People make no decision because they get a little nervous about what to choose, so they don't choose anything. And that's not what we want to do either. Okay. All righty. We're talking about, you saw Curtis mention that PDT hack. We have the PDT hack, which will allow us to day trade without using your day trades. You can trade day trade stuff without using your day trades. That's what that PDT hack does. And we have a training over in my resources, over in my arsenal, as I call it. You can go to educatortotrader.com. You can also look at that video on my YouTube channel. It will give you, it'll talk about it, but I also have a training on my website for how to do the PDT hack. It helps you to not use your day trades, basically recapture your buying power, and it helps you to lock in your profits. Which is really what we're looking at, is how can we lock in our profits and not have to watch our trades all day, especially if you're trading SPX. All right, you can use the PDT hack, but you need it's a strategy. You need to, it has some steps and a process to it. So you definitely want to make sure that you're following it properly. Okay. All righty, let's go on and look at some charts real quick. We're running up on 9 o'clock. Yes, we are. This is SPX. SPX from last week. We got our moving averages on. We are currently closed. If we go, let's say our daily, we did currently close. We are below the 200 period moving average. This black line you see here, whoop, 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 is the 200 period moving average. And it is at 57 and some change. We're, according to where we are in the pre-market, we are a bit above that in our pre-market. Let me see if I put us on SPX 500 on the daily. We're above that, but we gotta make sure we close above that, because it's not where it goes it's where it closes. Not where it goes it's where it closes, and it might close above it, but this is 200 period moving average, which we know will provide some strong resistance. So this was a good little hammer that was from Friday, and it definitely got a nice push going into today. But again, trade what you see. Trade what you see. I'm not saying it will or won't. Please don't hear something I'm not saying. All righty, do not hear what I'm not saying. But what I am saying is trade what you see. All right. So anyway, this is SPX. On the daily chart, we're coming into this black line you see here is the 200 period moving average, 200 day moving average. We're putting on some lines. We've got some support at the 56.14. There's a little bit of a gap. Nope, that gap has been filled right here. Why do I have that gap? Maybe when I was on the weekly. Yep, there it is. There it is. This weekly chart did leave us with a gap here from 57.14 up to 57.68. Going back down to the daily. Oh no, I don't want that one. What's the name has made some changes. TradingView's made some changes to how you can chart, and you have to be careful. Stuff will get put on your chart that you didn't want to put there. Like, I didn't want you. What are you doing? Okay, 58. I'm looking to make sure I'm not missing something. Yep, something's right in here. Right in here. I thought I was seeing something right there. Around 56.76, and the top of this gap will also provide some resistance, 57.66. Let's go back to the candles. Okay, this is what we seeing. This is what we seeing on SPX. Yes, if you go to smaller time frames, you're definitely going to see more zones. Okay, let's go look at SPY, which should look very similar. SPY is still showing bearish. So is Triple Q. All of these have a bearish little tint. You can look at the 50-period moving average. It's not a strong bearish, but we're still down a bit. Pre-market for SPY is at 571. We closed on Friday at 563. Currently, we're at 571, up about 8 points. It's now a bit above the 200-period moving average, again, which is also this black line. We want to make sure, again, we're trading what we say. I know I keep saying that, and that's because I want you to hear me. Hear ye. Good morning, Selena. Good morning, Ward. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing? And there's a nice little zone happening in here, 560. That's going up a little high, 575, 576. That's the SPY. The SPY. Trying to be back on the run. We're starting a little return, a little bit of a reverse, but we are coming into we're below that moving average. We need to see how it acts at this 200-period movement. That's why I keep bringing that up. We need to see how does it react here. Does it hit the 200-period moving average and reject, and that becomes a resistance and goes on down? Or does it get past the 200 moving average, and then the 200 becomes support, and it goes on up from there? Both things are possible, right? A moving average will operate as support and resistance. It's a parity line. It can flip over and it can change over, but you got to watch to see how it responds at this particular zone. It's a zone, and you need to see how it responds there. It's not automatic. Will it provide resistance? Yes, and it will provide it for a minute, and then at some point it may give. You just need to see how does it act when it gets there. Pre-market is up a bit. I agree. Pre-market is up a bit. Will it stay up? We'll see. 9:45, we got some data coming out. So you got to see how do things act when we're up in the data. Pre-market on Triple Q, we're at 488. Again, we closed at 480 on Friday. It's at 488 right now. So it's looking green as well. Right? We've got resistance at 482, which might provide support at this point. We have to see. See, turn over to the line. See, we got that. Yep. And that moving average is at 488, 49, right around where it's dancing is where that 200-period moving average is. Let's see how it responds in that area. See how it responds in that area. All right. I said I was going to look at some more charts. What did I say? I was going to look at Exxon. Said I was going to look at Exxon. I got too many lines on here, so I need to delete them. I get too many lines in one place. I get confused. Don't get confused. Just get to where too many things to look at. There we go. Remove your drawings. If I got too many things to look at, it's like, too many things. Okay. This is Exxon. Exxon is looking like it's kind of flat though, even though it's pushing bullish, because now we've got our 20-period moving average started to move. I think this is a 100 actually. The 50 period is the one that we really use to determine our trend, and it has started to turn upwards, but it's been flat a while. It's on our put credit spread on our bullish list. Let's put us some lines on here. We got some support here. We got some that's now in here. We've got some that's in here. Got some support. Friday's candle was just a real doji. This is like a sword. Pre-market is at 115.50, which is basically where it closed on Friday. It's at the same place, but we are looking. Now, this is let you know that it may be, could be a little bit of indecision. Yes. Are we going to go back down? Let's just see. Don't really know. Do I want to go up some more? I'm not so sure. That's what it's looking like. We do have a bit of a crossover here, but we looked at it going on up, and I think we do have some upwards movement. Let me see, what do we have on? We have on our list for Exxon. I gotta go and see, what did we put on our trades list. I want to say it's 112, 113. Yep, there we go. Exxon 112, 113, which would put us below the support that we came up with. That would be good. See if it pulls back a little bit, get you a good entry. That would be good. So that's Exxon 112, 113 on the put credit spread. Not investment advice, just telling you that that's something that we might be able to see. Microsoft is the next one we have. I said I was going to look at this Merton. Microsoft had a good strong green candle on Friday, but it is still showing in the bearish places. Still looking quite bearish. This gap here got filled. Yes, it did. Gap down, came back up. We're coming on up like the Jeffersons. It's moving on up. Nice little support here. Let me get me a thing. Support. Got some support over in here. 383. It's currently at 396. It's got a nice little pre-market move going in Microsoft. I believe we've got 400. Some resistance at 401. I believe we've got 400 on our 402.5 as our trade on the list. I believe that's what I just saw. Again, you want to look at it, make sure we're following, use your support resistance. On our 50-period moving average up here at 403. Good resistance here at 400, 401. We're currently at 396. If I had my Thinkorswim open, I'd look at some other stuff, but it's not, and it takes long to open, especially when I'm on live. It just needs the juice to get open, and I'm not gonna let it take the time my computer to fight with all the other things it needs resources for. I'm not gonna put me, you, and my computer through that right now and this morning. Not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it. Microsoft call credit spread for this week. I'm sure our community will look at entering and getting into that. We're already in the IWM call credit spread. We'll see how that goes for the week. Yes, we will. All right. Zero DTE results from last week in our membership. This is what my results were. Our entire membership was profitable last week. Woo, woo. We all made some money. We traded AbbVie. We traded Microsoft. We traded IWM last week. We traded SPX last week while I was on vacation. We were still trading together. This is money we pulled in. Actually made about $1,700 last week overall with our 0 DTE, 1 DTE. Did a training last night in the membership on those strategies. Make sure we clarified all the entries and all the good stuff that's going along with how we pulling in these chukka change. One of the members in our community asked me how much collateral am I using to reach these profits? And I'm using about $1,500, $2,000 a day to pull in about $1,700 a week, which is not a lot, right? I'm using, 500 on our 1 DTE. about 1,500 on our zero DTE stuff. And I'm just using rinse and repeat. I'm using the PDT hack. So I'm just using strategies putting together, which we talked about those last night, and able to pull in 12 to 1,500. Listen, we talked about, even if you just did $500 and you made $35 or $40 a day, $35, $40 a day is another, what we say, $175 a week, which is $700 a month. Could you use another $175 a week? Question. Pregunta. Could you use another $175 a week? Yes, you could. I'm sure you could. Yes. Could you use another $700 a month? Yes, you could. That's a car payment plus light bill plus whatever. That's $35 a day you're making in profits, which is not a lot. Okay, $35 a day. It's just consistent. Hey, Lisa. You can use $500 and pull in 35. And we've got the way to help you do that, but we're doing that in the membership. So if you looking to do something like that, come on over into the membership. We did the training last night. It was recorded. Okay, so if you want to come, and then not only that, I don't just record something, toss it out there, and leave you to your own devices. We're gonna be right here to help you walk it out and walk it through each and every single day. So we won't be like, I taught you, go do it. No, it's like I taught you and I'll help you manage it every single day. That's what we'll do. All right. So that's available and open to you. That's what we did. Training was last night. Take this slide out of here because it was yesterday. We did it yesterday. But the membership is here. Learn, trade, and profit the seller's way. Supportive community, profitable strategies, daily profits to grow your account. We're looking at less screen time. I told y'all I made that money last week on vacation. I was still walking around Guatemala, enjoying the sights, shopping a little bit, just kind of doing what we do and hanging out and still trading and doing what we did, right? Don't forget the Candlestick Mastery Calendar. We still need our candlesticks because we're doing all this stuff. We're still not ignoring our candles. We still need to be able to look at a chart and see what's happening, to be able to use your chart and see what's happening. The Candlestick Mastery Calendar really is a resource, it's definitely not even mainly a calendar. It's more of a resource. But this piercing pattern definitely is a good one for this month. And we're going to be ready for our next one coming up because this is the last week of the month. This is the last week of March. We're ready to go on into April in about a week. If you're looking for the freebies for the free over e2tfreebies.com, you can go ahead and grab that over there. Let's go to the declaration so we can wrap this call up. I declare I'm a great trader, a successful trader, and a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses and my account is growing steadily. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I have a strategy that I use for my trades. I don't randomly place trades. I'm a level-headed trader who trades my plans and not my emotions. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. Help us today to trade our strategy with wisdom and knowledge. Allow us to prosper enough to have what we need and enough to bless others. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen, amen. All right. I have missed you all. I'm so glad that we're back together this morning, that we can hang out together on our call just before the market opens, right? If you're in my community, you can find us in the Telegram for whatever questions and issues you have. I'm here to make sure that we can all get ourselves profitable and get what we need out of this market because it's here to get, and we want to be getting what it's here to get. All right. I think that's everything. As they say, I've done what the Lord has commanded, and yet there is room. I want you to do 2 things today. Actually, 3 things. I want you to stay green. I want you to get this money, and I want you to trade what you see. All righty. I will see you all in the market. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.